Right, good morning, good evening folks. I thought I'd just do this video because I've had a few questions lately and I've been so busy I haven't had time to answer them. So I've got a list of questions here that I've had people message me and ask me, and let's turn that off. I thought it'd just be easy to kind of go over them. So, question number one is, how do you get jobs? So what I do is I started off, I'll go from the beginning, I started off with just leafleting. So I leafleted, I think, 2,500 houses, and yeah, that generated I think 3 or 4 jobs, which I know it sounds like madness, 2,500 leaflets to get 3 or 4 jobs, but 2,500 leaflets took I think 3 days, and obviously 3 or 4 jobs can earn enough to kind of have like a monthly wage almost. So that's how I started. I've now progressed, so I now spend about £700 a month on Google Ads, and I do a bit on Facebook as well, and I still leaflet every now and again, like I leaflet an area that I'm working in kind of thing. I've always got leaflets spare. So Google Ads is really good. I've kind of tried to help people out with it myself. It's quite difficult to kind of justify paying the money to begin with. Like when you first do it, you're like, look man, £700 a month, I can't afford that. But 1 or 2 jobs pays for itself, and honestly the first, well, I've been doing it 4 months now. In 4 months it has turned over a lot of money, and honestly I don't think I'll ever stop Google Ads until it kind of, or if it ever dries up a little bit. Question number 2 is, where did you get your roof cleaning pole from? So my roof cleaning pole is the GVS Power Pole 35 foot. It's a great pole. It's quite heavy. It's heavy, but it's not heavy at the same time because the pressure takes the weight off. But so I got it from Gutter Vacuum Systems. Julia really helped me out with that. I got it at Cleaning Expo 2024. So yeah, that's where I got my roof cleaning pole from. I would suggest if I was to buy it again, I'd buy the 45 foot pole instead of the 35, just because it gives you a bit extra and it means you'll never get stuck on a job. There's been a few times I've had to move the scaffolding over just a little bit just to be able to reach the next bit, and it's just so annoying when you're up on the roof. Question number 3, what pressure washer do you have? So I have the Honda GX390 Evolution machine. It's 21 litres a minute, it's 200 bar. It's a great machine. It's an upgrade. I started out with a Hyundai 15 litres a minute machine. It's good, but the only thing that I actually don't think I could live without now is the return to tank. So basically when you squeeze the trigger on the new one, on my Honda, obviously water, yeah, it's fine, and then as soon as you let go of the trigger, the machine, it doesn't make the machine struggle, and it doesn't have water passing through the pump and kind of getting stuck. So that's the only thing about an older machine or a cheaper machine that you don't have, which honestly has been vital, because when if you're doing a roof clean by yourself or a pressure washing job, and you know you've got the pressure washer in your van and you're about 30 metres away, if you start the engine without a return to tank, you'll hear like your machine just, it doesn't sound very healthy. Apart from, so my new one basically allows me to take my hand off the trigger for as long as I want to, and the water still flies through the machine and it goes back into my other tank, and yeah, it just keeps everything moving. Question number 4 leads me to, what services do you actually offer? So I offer, at the moment, it's subject to change, I offer pressure washing, roof cleaning, gutter clearing, fascia and UPVC cleaning, window cleaning, soft washing, render cleaning, that kind of thing. It might change soon, just simply because time, as well as all this equipment, and there's a few things that I kind of need to get right and kind of specialise in these services rather than kind of offer everything. So yeah, these are subject to change, but that's what I offer at the moment. If anyone got in touch, that'd be what I'd offer. What equipment do you use for biocide? So I actually currently, as we speak right now, use a Big Boy Backpack 2 with 30 metres of 6mm hose, I think it is, from Window Cleaning Warehouse, on a Renegade pole that's 35 feet. So that's 30 feet, sorry. So that's what I do with biocide. I'm speaking to Gutter Vacuum Systems at the moment about a dosatron. So basically what that means is it uses the water pressure from like the customer's tap in, and then mixes a perfect amount of biocide in, and it comes out of the box straight up your pole, and it's just a lot easier to use. And obviously you can kind of pour the biocide, or it's suction fed out of like the the can or the bottle, so there's no pouring and mixing. So yeah, you just get a lot better coverage, and it works itself out with the amount of biocide you actually need. So the next question is, what chemicals are used for what? I struggle to answer this question in my head, but I think I've kind of got what you want to know. So the first chemical I use is Synergy Clean. So Synergy Clean is from PureSeal. It's basically used for UPVC cleaning. So basically, you know, you put it in your backpack or whatever you've got. Just agitate the UPVC and it comes straight off, as long as you rinse it afterwards with tap water. So yeah, I normally rinse it off, leave it for a few minutes, then rinse it off with water. That's pretty much what I use Synergy for. It can be used for other things. You can mix it in with Hypo as well, but we'll get onto that. Next chemical is Biocide. Now I use Biocide on roofs mainly. I do use it on patios such as a home surface, or if like granite and things like that, or if they kind of get a lot of like green algae growth, which I found on quite a few stamped concrete jobs, that they get quite a lot of like corners that are full of algae and organic growth. And then that leads us on to what some people call the main chemical, but I don't really think it's the main chemical. I don't really use it, to be honest. Like most of my jobs kind of change a lot, so one day I'm doing, you know, gutters, fascias, next day I'm doing roofs, and then patios and whatever. So sodium hypochlorite. This is basically the main floor surface chemical we use. So hypochlorite is designed to get out lichen and other kind of deep organic stains in the surface. It basically lifts all the grime and lichen, like I say, the white lichen, black lichen, the little spots. It basically lifts that, and it's like an instant clean almost. There's a few things you need to know when using hypochlorite, and that is you do not want to use it on tarmac, limestone, slate, granite, or lead flashing. Reason being is because it will bleach most of it, and you'll just have issues after issues. I've also got on here, don't use it on home surface, as it's just not effective, and wood, it will completely bleach and it will completely ruin wood. So yeah, always remember that: tarmac, limestone, slate, granite, lead flashing, and wood. Home surface, it just doesn't work. But anything else is fine. Like Indian sandstones, like your usual block paving, is completely fine. But yeah, that's pretty much it for chemicals. I don't think I've missed anything off there. So the next question is, do you use E10 or E5 petrol for your pressure washer? I thought this was quite an interesting question, actually. The answer is I always use E5. I know it's more expensive, but if you look after your equipment, it will look after you, is how I look at things. So I always use E5. I've used E10 in my older machine a few times, just simply because I was starting out and like money's always tight. So yeah, but nowadays I always use E5. So the next question is, how did you afford your equipment? So I used to be a farmer. I used to work on a farm every day. I basically saved up all of my money and put it all into this business. So I kept a bit, but it went on things like the van, equipment, public liability insurance, van insurance, all this kind of stuff. All my money basically disappeared overnight. I literally just went, right, I bought everything. And then yeah, that's how I afforded it. I haven't ever taken out a loan. I don't pay anything monthly. It's all paid off just because it puts my mind at rest. You know, I don't have to be earning this amount every day to be able to pay something off, like a new van. Like some people take out a new van straight away and instantly they're like 20 grand in debt. It's just not ideal. It's not what I wanted to do. The next thing is, what would be the best thing you'd say you've bought? So the best thing I'd say I've bought is a few things. Number one, the X-Jet. And this isn't just for chemical use, but it is as well. So time saved using an X-Jet is so much different to using a watering can. Honestly, like the X-Jet's so good for kind of quickly spraying about, getting all your chemicals down, agitating them, and then leaving them to rest. The other thing with the X-Jet is it's a great rinsing tool. It's basically my one and only rinsing tool. Every job I go to, I use the X-Jet. And it, like I say, it's not just for chemicals, it's really good at rinsing. You know, you can twist the nozzle so you've got a different angle of spray. But yeah, honestly, it's a great tool. The next thing I'd say is the Q fittings. So I know some people probably won't understand what that means. It's basically a gun, so the ST2600, I think what most people have got. I've just bought one, so I'm going to be upgrading to one. I've got the ST1500 at the moment. So with that, basically you have your hose always connecting the same trigger, but you can always change it from the end, so you can switch between a 1200mm lance, 900mm lance, X-Jet, you know, all of these different tools without turning the machine off. And honestly, it's a lifesaver. It saves so much time, and it's just quickly, you know, like if you're rinsing off with the X-Jet and you go, oh, I've missed a bit or something, or there's a weed there, literally you just take the X-Jet out, straight in turbo nozzle, done, and then back out again, rather than walking, turning off your machine all the time. Another great thing I've bought is 100% the backpack, whether it's a Gardner, Big Boy 2, there's a few others out there, but that basically was the fundamental thing at the start of my business that really kind of kept everything going. So I used to use it for window cleanings, biocide. This wasn't all at once, so I started off window cleaning, and then I upgraded my window cleaning setup, then I used it all for kind of fascias and gutter washing, and then I still use it for that, and now I only use it for biocide and Synergy. So backpack honestly is I think it's one of the main things I've used the whole time. It's a staple in the business. You've always got to have one because it always has its place. It's just so much easier to use than, you know, connecting all these batteries up and things like that at the start. But obviously now, where I am now, you know, you're kind of looking at 12-watt pumps, chemical pumps, all this kind of stuff. But the backpack, I can not recommend it to anyone. If you're just starting, you need to get a backpack. The next question is, what advice would you give to a new business? I've just quit my job and I think I want to start a business in the exterior cleaning world. Advice would be, don't give up. You know, also I would say don't spend all the money you've got like I did. You know what you want to do, get the equipment you need to do that, and don't go around offering all these services to begin with and then be stuck when someone wants the work done and you get a quote accepted. I had a few times when that was the issue, such as roof cleaning. I offered roof cleaning from the go. Someone came up to me and said, oh, can I have it pressure washed? And I went, yeah. And then, you know, I got to that evening, I thought, I can't afford to, you know, kind of get all this going. So I said, sorry, I've made a bit of a mess up. I can't really offer you pressure washing. But they went for the scrape instead, so that was perfectly fine. The next thing I'd say is always stay motivated. Always kind of, you know, be willing to do the best job possible. No matter what the money is, no matter what circumstances are, if it's pissing out of rain, you've always got to stay motivated and do these jobs and get them done. Just because you'll look back in 2 weeks' time and be like, oh, I'm really glad I did that now. Next question, what do you do in winter? So I still offer all my services. Everything is still in play. So it basically comes down to keeping having a tidy window cleaning round is what I like to call it. So I have about 40 houses now where I can just kind of pick a day in the week and just do 10, for example, in one day. And then that's me window cleaning done for a week. But I always like to keep them because in winter, you know, if you've got no work coming in, it's always there, and you can always just, you know, 1 week, oh, I've got nothing on this week, do all the window cleans that you possibly can. Gutter clearing's a massive one. I'm going to be offering roof cleaning this winter, obviously 2024 winter, so we're about 6-7 months off yet. Plans are for a boiler, so obviously you can kind of pressure wash and steam, and it will help the roof defrost and whatever else. And it sanitises the roof, and it's easier to remove lichen spots. The other things you can do in winter, you can do Christmas lights. Like I saw Jake Smelt do Christmas lights last year. We don't really get any snow, so you can't really do snow ploughing. But yeah, in winter you've just got to stay motivated. Like I said, you've got to get out in the rain, do whatever you can. Roof scraping is a thing in winter as well. You can get out roof scrape. Obviously it's a lot harder because the moss is kind of frozen, but well, not always frozen, like it's always wet and stuff, and it's not really nice. And I wouldn't ever advise doing it off a ladder. You know, get your scaffold and towel, you know, try and get as many of these jobs in a week as you can. And then obviously if you do 2 in a week, you can put the scaffolding back or take it off high or whatever, and you've always got that option. Next question, what plans do you have for your business in the future? So currently I'm still a one-man band. My aims is to have a window cleaning round that I can employ someone to go and clean the windows for me, so that, you know, there's always work coming in and there's always people seeing you do stuff. That's my biggest plan. So that's the play, I think. Still, you know, you've got to choose the direction you want it to go in. Another thing is get a bigger van. Definitely. I'm still using a Peugeot Partner, and obviously lugging all the equipment out every day, back in, back out, back in, back out. It's really, really difficult to kind of, you know, plan for the next day, but it is what it is. But yeah, and other than that, it's just keep creating content, keep doing a good job, keep everything up, and just it will only get busier. Next question is, what's your favourite service? This is difficult. It's definitely either patio, driveway cleaning or roof cleaning. It just is. I love the satisfaction of it. Like going there and it's completely a mess, and leaving and it looks new, it looks clean, it looks great. That's the biggest thing for me. That's what I like doing the most. So that's definitely my favourite service, either roof cleaning or patio cleaning. I'd probably edge it patio cleaning. I love cleaning Indian sandstone. It's my favourite thing. What is your biggest bugbear at a job? Low water pressure. If you've got low water pressure coming into your buffer tank, it is the worst thing in the world, because you're constantly turning your machine off, waiting for it to refill, doing a bit, going back, turning your machine off, waiting for it to refill. It is the worst thing. Also, chemicals. The worst thing as well is going out in the morning. You know, you've got like your logo tops on or whatever, and then you're using your X-Jet or you're using bleach or something, and then you look down and about 20 minutes later and you've got bleach on you or on your clothes or whatever, and it's so annoying because it's just like, well, you know, it's got to go in the bin now. So yeah, it's probably water pressure and then that. But I've seen a few people offering Chemwear. So Chemwear, I think is the company. So it's chemical resistant clothing, and I'm gonna get some at some point, but just not at the moment. And the last question I've got is, do I seal? Yes, I do seal. It's become a thing now where I offer it, but I don't advertise it, simply because in the UK it's very tricky. You know, you've got weather, it's constantly raining at the moment. I do offer it, and I still continue to offer it. If that changes, so be it. But yeah, that's where I am with sealing, and that is the end of the questions that I've got. Yeah, I thought I'd just do this. If any of you got any other questions, please feel free to inbox me. It'll be great to hear from you. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I've got more videos coming out this week. I've got 2 roof cleans next week. One was going to come out really nice because it's red tiles underneath and it's all grey at the moment. It's horrible. And I've got a full house render clean as well. And I think that's my YouTube plan for the next few weeks. But yeah, anyway, cheers guys. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.